You need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send ya back to schooling. Way down inside, honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love. Here we got Led Zeppelin II. Now, this is, for a long time, this was my favorite Led Zeppelin album. It's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. It is just fantastic. Every song on this album is so good. If you look at how they wrote this album, they wrote it while they were on tour in the US during 1969. It came out that same year. And they went from tour date to tour date throughout the US all in 1 year and wrote these songs and recorded them and mixed them all in different locations. So not one song on this album was recorded in the same place. It was all across the United States, and it's just fantastic. And that really shows how genius these four musicians are. When they came together, they were just phenomenal. Led Zeppelin II was released in 1969. It has some of the most iconic songs on it that Led Zeppelin ever came out with. Number 1 is Whole Lotta Love. Whole Lotta Love was their biggest hit at the time. It reached, I think, number 2. Did not reach number 1, but it was number 2. Whole Lotta Love. That riff in there, it just kind of repeats over and over, but it's so heavy, it's so bluesy. It's just like you fucking go right into it, and it's just fantastic, you know. And Robert Plant's voice on it is just phenomenal, as always. And the little orgasm part in the middle, which I call it the orgasm part, it's really just a breakdown of like a bunch of crazy noises. But that was very iconic, and it was too explicit at the time. They had an edited version which edited out that, which I think is really funny, because it shorts down the song. The song's already pretty short. But it was a 69, whatever. Number 2 is What Is and What Should Never Be. And this song is really, really good. It starts out very slow, very kind of progressive, you know. It's like, it's building up to something. You can feel it, even if you haven't heard it before, you feel it kind of build up. And then the chorus is just phenomenal. Very iconic, it sticks in your mind very, very well. The chorus on that song is just really good. And the rest of the song is good too. It's just a phenomenal song. Number 3 is the Lemon Song. This song has to be probably one of the most unique songs that I've ever heard. I've never heard a song like this. The Lemon Song is totally unique. It's got a very weird riff, followed by another weird bridge, which has a weird riff. Great drumming, great bass line. I mean, the lyrics are really kind of funny. It's a song about lemons, I guess. But it's pretty iconic, and I really, really dig this song, you know. It's very unique, and I've never heard a song like the Lemon Song before. Number 4 is Thank You. This is a love song. It's probably not a sex song, it's a love song. Whole Lotta Love is kind of like a sex song. Thank You is kind of like a love song, which is kind of funny. But Thank You is just, it has the acoustic feel, but the drums that go with it just fits so well. I think it's actually recorded with the electric guitar. It's kind of has the acoustic feel, but the drums that go with it's just so good. You know, it's rare that you get such a combination of drums and light sounding acoustic guitars that feel just perfect together. And I really love this song. It's really good. It's really good. 5 is Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker is heavy. It's good. It's fucking, you know, right in your face. Heartbreaker. The line. There's one line in it that always makes me laugh. Yeah, I think you know what it is if you know the song. It's so funny. Heartbreaker is really good. 6 is Livin' Lovin' Maid. She's Just a Woman. And the way Heartbreaker turns into Livin' Lovin' Maid is just awesome. You know, it sticks right in your mind, and you'll just play it over and over in your mind. It's just like, Jesus, I can't get this out. Livin' Lovin' Maid is, I've read that Livin' Lovin' Maid is Jimmy Page's least favorite Led Zeppelin song, which I can see why if he's heard it so many times and, you know, he knows what it is, but it just works so well as a rock song. This is a rock song. It's rock and roll, and it just works perfect as a rock and roll song. It's just perfectly arranged. It doesn't get any better than Livin' Lovin' Made as technically an arrangement goes, you know what I'm saying? For a rock song. It's really good. And I don't see why Jimmy Page doesn't like it, but I like it. Number 7 is Ramble On. Ramble On is probably the one that stood the test of time the most. It is based on the Lord of the Rings books by J.R.R. Tolkien, and I know I keep saying this, but this is just amazing song. Ramble On. There's nothing I can say about it. I mean, this song is just so good. Ramble On. So good. Number 8 is Moby Dick. Moby Dick is an instrumental excuse me, an instrumental that has a huge drum solo. A lot of people didn't like the drum solo when this album came out. Obviously, they did it in the live version. The live version lasts up to half an hour of just the drum solo, and you won't get bored by it because it's John Bonham, and he's the greatest. Moby Dick has a great riff at the beginning. It's a great riff, very catchy, and a great riff at the end. But the drum solo is very unique because he starts off slow and he crescendos up, as most drum solos do. But the way he does it is like as it begins, it's kind of like your average drum solo that most drummers would do. But as he goes into the 16th notes and the 32nd notes, you can hear these musical lines that are actually being played throughout those notes in a percussion instrument, which is incredibly hard to do. And I can only remember hearing it one other time, which was Lars Ulrich on And Justice for All. He does this thing that you can hear these musical lines. I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but you can, if you listen real close, you can hear this pitch and a song within a song as John Bonham does this drum solo, and it's just, I've never heard anything like it. And when I heard that, I was like, Jesus, this guy is ridiculous. Blows people out of the water. It's unbelievable. Number 9 is Bring It On Home, and this was probably my first real experience playing a Led Zeppelin song, was Bring It On Home. And I just love the riff, and I love how it transitions from the harmonica part into the riff part. And I could just play that riff all day on the guitar, it's just so good. Also, not Jimmy Page, Robert Plant, vocal performance is just phenomenal on this song, Bring It On Home. On the whole album, I didn't really talk about Robert Plant, but Robert Plant really came into his voice on this album, because on the first album, he had a lot of pressure from the rest of the band to do well, and he figured, he was just going to make this album and then go on and do other things with other bands. But when this album came out, it showed that Robert Plant really has come into his voice, and his vocal performance really skyrocketed after this point. And the rest of it is just all said and done. So, Led Zeppelin II is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's not a bad song on here. It's probably one of the best Led Zeppelin albums, if not the best. And I just love the shit out of it, so I'll see you in the next video.